Right. Wait for Jieming. Okay. Welcome back. So now we'll deep dive into other money values. I think the first part, Clarissa talked about teachable moments, which I thought was very enlightening because we always read books, but it's hard to apply it sometimes, right? And the idea that, we just need to be a bit more mindful. Any chance that we have, we can take out the book, take out a part of the book to teach the children, right? I thought that was a lot more easy to implement and a lot more enlightening. So the next part, right, is I want to deep dive into book number 3, which is the one in the center, right? I was very interested by the title called Pot of Gold.
Yes.
And it's named after your daughter, Alexis.
Yes.
Yeah. Could you share more about this book?
All right. So Alessi's Pot of Gold talks about the value of creativity and abundance. Again, as adults, whoever said that we can only earn from one source of income? Right? So a lot of people, people I know, they have this one job and they think that's it. Okay, I only have, one source of income.
Yeah.
But creativity and abundance talks about our real pot of gold, which is really here at the back. So it's what you enjoy and what you are good at is your real wealth. Because we're all creative. You've seen kids, they're very creative.
Yeah.
And we were all kids before. And we're very abundant. Like we have our natural interests, we have our skills, our talents, and we can actually earn money from them. So part of the advocacy as well is, so not just multiple streams of income, but really loving your work.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping when Alessi and Basti and all the other kids, when they grow up, they'll be able to do something that they love and earn money from there as well.
I love how pot of gold have dual meaning, right? Because gold can also represent your treasure, your skill set, right? And your skill set that you're very passionate about. I think a lot of corporate training these days talk about ikigai.
Oh, yes,
Yeah, right?
yes. I've
Yeah.
read that book
Yeah.
and I love it.
Yeah,
I love
so
the
I
concept.
can relate to that in a very simple way where kids can understand.
Yes,
Right, because I think for my parents' generation, I'm a millennial, by the way, so I'm not that young or old. My parents always say that, oh, you should study hard, get a job, and stick to a secure job.
Yes.
So that's what my mom did. She is in her current job for the last 30 years of her life. Right. And when I ask my friends around, it's all like that. Right. They have the parent that lasts in the job for at least 30, 40 years. And that was about it. And even sometimes when they come home, they complain about the work, but they never think about alternatives.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I really like the idea behind creativity and abundance.
Yes.
Right. Do you see that in your children?
Yes. Again, Alessi, she's 9 now, so she's more curious than ever. So they actually asked me, oh, can I earn money at a young age? Because again, Alessi's pot of gold, and we have a Safi says here that actually says there are lots of ways to earn money. And again, if you go back to teachable moments, what you said, right? Like if your parents are into business, then explain it to the kids. And then if your parents are into employment, explain it to the kids. What do they do? What's their job? So my kids are very curious. So they actually start earning money at home. So early this year, they went to Kidzania. So, the concept of Kidzania is, they earn money and then they can use the money they earn, to enjoy some of the other activities there. And then when they went home, they said they were very excited, sharing what they did for work. Today. And they're like, oh, can we have Kidzania at home? So actually, it's amazing because, again, just talking about money with them, they actually start becoming creative. And they're like, oh, I actually want to earn money. And that idea, that the thing that we do now at home started from, it was from them. It was their idea. So what we did was, okay, we can make a list of all the extra chores, because obviously they have their responsibilities at home, like tidying up and, cleaning up.
Yeah.
But then outside of your regular chores, if you do extra chores, then you can earn money.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
But now that you're earning money at home, you also need to start paying for the things that you usually ask mom and dad for. So, it's as simple as, I want ice cream. I want a lollipop. So, okay, so because you're starting to earn your own money, then you will now have to pay for that ice cream, you know? So we came up with the list and then we printed them and they're actually up on our walls. So here's a list of the things that they can earn from.
Yeah.
And then here is a list of the things they usually ask us for. So there's a list of the small treats that they always want from the grocery, chocolates, candies. And then there's a list of the bigger ticket items, like they want to go to a theme park or they want to go to all these, playgrounds that you have to pay for.
Even playground?
Yes.
Is that playground free for public?
So some are free, but then the indoor playgrounds where we usually have to pay for,
Okay.
they now have to earn money for it. They have to save up for.
Yeah. So how is it like? I believe you have the soft copy if, let's say, somebody wants to have a look and download for their family, right? Yeah.
They're all in our website, safisquirrel.com.
Yeah, we'll leave it in a link below. So if you want to have a look at it, right, click on it to download it.
Yes. And then, they can also just come up with their own. It's amazing because it was a brainstorming session with the kids. Like, what do you think you can help the family with, what you can do at home. So, we have a very big vacuum cleaner. But then my son is like, I can help do the vacuum. Like, obviously, it's so heavy for him. But then now he's helping. Like, it's as simple as, draining the water or just bringing or rolling the vacuum. But because he knows he'll earn 50 cents. From helping out, then he helps and he earns his money.
And I believe they have so much fun in that as well.
Yes. And then Alessi also, in terms of earning money, she went a notch higher. She's like, oh, so can I come up with a business?
Wow.
And I'm like, yes, of course. So, I know, at 9, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, so what business idea do you have? Do you know what you want to do? And again, I think because we expose them to being in touch with what they're good at, what the things they love doing, their pot of gold. She's like, you know what? I really enjoy taking care of our friends' kids, like the younger kids, like aged 4 to 6 or even younger, like 3. I can start a babysitting business.
Wow.
Which she did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously not for strangers, only for our family friends and our neighbors who know her.
I can't imagine a 9-year-old babysit.
Right?
For a kid, a baby, is it?
Yes.
I see.
Well, not for babies, but then for like 3 to 5, like toddlers.
Yeah.
And she started earning money from it.
Wow.
Yes. So now our friends, if they want some rest time, some me time, especially my friends who don't have helpers and don't have nannies, they would call Alessi and they're like, oh, are you available for 2 hours this Saturday? And then she would go.
Wow.
She would, and she started earning money.
Amazing.
Yes.
Okay, let's put this back here so everyone can see it. Okay, I want to talk about the next one because I think creativity and abundance is about the mindset behind giving. And I think it all links up as well because abundance means you need to be creative so that you can be abundant. And when you're abundant, what do you do with so much, right? Because now that Alessi, she is earning money at the age of 9, right? Imagine if she earns a lot of money, right? What she's going to do about it. Right. So I love it that in the next book, you actually share about this idea of giving.
Yes.
Right? Could you share more about it?
All right. So giving, we talk about it here. So Basti is my 7-year-old. Okay. So Basti Builds a Home is about giving and sharing, which I believe is the ultimate purpose of having money. Right. So it's amazing because Alessi, I was just telling you about how she started earning money. So just last weekend, she earned $10 from a 2-hour babysitting.
Wow.
And then on Sunday, she donated the full $10 in church.
Oh.
By herself, without us telling her.
Self-directed.
Yes, because we give them, when we're in church, we give them money to donate, right? To put in the basket. Yeah. But she just, popped her wallet out and got her 10 on top of what we give to the church. And no explanation, nothing. She just did it. And it actually warms our hearts. And I'm hoping she learned it from this book because this book revolves around Basti having a dilemma what to do with his share jar.
Oh,
So
that's
he
so
has
cute.
some money jars. So save
Saves.
jar, spend jar, and share jar. And the whole story revolves around what to do with the share jar.
Mm.
And they were brainstorming. So a lot of the things that we put in this book, we actually practice at home. So example, this one.
Yeah.
Wherein they're donating their toys, their books. So it's actually, again, a regular exercise that we do at home.
Yeah.
Because, again, too many toys, everything,
Yeah.
clothes. So we do spring cleaning once in a while, like twice a year.
Mm.
Again, deliberately, just because, again, well, first we have a tiny home. So it's like, okay, we need space.
Clear, yeah.
So there's also a practical reason for it. So as we're clearing space, again, it turned it into a teachable moment. So what we do is, okay, so you know what, I haven't seen you play that truck in, I don't know, 6 months or 12 months even.
Yeah.
Or maybe, oh, you now have like 3 dolls. Like, do you really need all 3 dolls? Are you still playing with all 3 dolls, or do you want to give one or two? And then we talk about, donating them to children, because, you're very lucky you have all of these things. Some
Yeah.
kids, they don't even have toys.
Mm.
But then, those kids that don't have toys, if you give them just one toy, they're so happy.
Yeah.
And then, okay, these clothes, they don't fit you anymore. Again, there are kids who need clothes.
Yeah.
Or even if they don't need, we actually hand them down to our friends, again, our friends' children.
Yeah.
And in fact, again, I'm very proud, and we also put it here actually. So our kids grew up with hand-me-downs.
Wow.
Yes. Because I think, I'm also lucky because, I have friends who who have older kids.
Yeah.
And honestly, they don't even wear out the clothes, because by the
Oh.
time, like 5 times you wear the clothes,
Yeah,
and
and that's
they've
about it.
outgrown it. Right. So again, we've captured that here. So this is Bella. So Bella is my niece. So she's also here in Singapore. My sister lives here.
Yeah.
So a lot of Alessi, if not all, of her clothes actually came from Bella.
Mm.
Because by the time she outgrows them, my sister is like, oh, do you need, okay, I have a pile of dresses again for you,
Yeah.
So my kids grew up with that. And then for Basti, I have friends who have older boys, and they're like, hey, do you want this? Like, I'm giving them away, but I'm asking you first.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, please, I welcome
Thank you.
it. Yes, thank you. So we do that. And I think because they know their clothes are practically hand-me-downs,
Yeah.
they also exercise the same concept. Oh, okay, now that I've outgrown them, it's time to share them with the smaller kids as well.
Mm.
So it just gets passed on to, and then to my friends or to my family, to my relatives who now have younger kids.
I want to talk about this, which is the topic of entitlement, right? Because I think we are living in a first world country. We are very blessed. So a lot of times, especially when I see kids wear branded goods these days, I'm like, why? So I'm not saying no to that,
Yeah.
but I'm thinking about this idea of entitlement and how kids are so blessed, they receive, right? But sometimes it's very hard to even share with them the concept of what is it like to share and give, right? So the idea here is maybe sometimes you even start to complain, right? And it's just going that way where they complain, they don't understand how lucky they are, and so on and so forth. So how do you inculcate that sort of thankfulness and gratitude in them?
Yeah. So we're actually writing a book.
Oh, okay.
We're writing. So what you're seeing here is actually books 1 to 5.
Yeah.
Let me put this back here. But we are already done writing book 6 to 10. So book 6, it's entitled Alessi Discovers Magic. Okay, and it's about the value of gratitude and contentment.
Right. So you have that covered. Great.
Yes. So it's really
Perfect.
about asking your child, what is that one thing you're thankful for today? And again, it ties back to being abundant, right? Like you think you have, oh, I don't have this toy. I don't have this
Can I have this? Why does my friend this? Why have this, but I don't have it, right?
Yes, correct. And they start comparing themselves with what their other playmates have. But then gratitude and contentment is helping them focus on the things they already have so that they don't really ask for more. So in the book, we're still raising funds to print them, but I can share with you. So one of the pages there is about, complaining. And the story revolves around Alessi complaining because as much as she's very mature for her age and she's doing all of these businesses, between her and Basti, she tends to complain more than Basti. I think when Basti's frustrated, he's just quiet.
Yeah.
Because he's an introvert like me. Okay. But then Alessi, because she's very extroverted, high energy, she would she would tell us that, oh my God, it's so hot. But you're on holiday, you're traveling, we're walking. Oh, I'm so tired. My legs are so tired. And then that's where the inspiration behind book 6 is Alessi Discovers Magic. We're taking a family trip. And then Alessi of the present looks back to Alessi of the past. And she's like, they really sound like that when I whine, when I complain. And then at the end of the story, there are bubbles. So those are the complaints. So I tell them, okay, it's okay to complain because, again, adults complain. We're human beings, so we get frustrated and we complain about things. But then let's put those complaints inside bubbles. Okay, I'll give you 5 seconds to complain and then we'll pop them.
Oh, that's such a good visual analogy of how they can do it.
Yes. So again, really just making the concept simple for them. And bubbles, like all these kids run after bubbles, right? So, okay. And then we pop them. And then in the book as well, the things they're grateful for. So the gratitude, okay. The things you're grateful for, let's put them in colorful gems. So gems, obviously, they're learning materials in school. So gems are hard, it's difficult to break and they're sparkling.
Yeah. So
the things you're grateful for, let's put them in gems because those are your gems. And, there's a page in the book wherein Alessi finally learns that, okay, I can complain, but then I can pop them like bubbles after. But then the things I'm really grateful for, like, I'm tired because we're on a new adventure, because we're hiking, because we're in nature. Then she started putting them in gems.
Yeah. So again, does she write it down or draw it? What do you do about it?
Yeah. So we started a gratitude journal.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So this is a journal, gratitude journal. Yes. So here, again, it's a simple exercise. But I realized with kids, we have to prompt them. So, we don't just ask them, what are you grateful for today? Because
that's
again,
too big to understand, right?
Yes. But it can be as simple as, what is the best thing about today? Or I am thankful I can. Because again, it's not all material things.
Yeah.
We also should be able to be grateful for the things we can do. And it's funny because now she put, I am thankful I can walk. Because she had an injury.
Right.
And then she had to be on crutches.
Yeah.
And then she realized, oh my gosh, it's so hard to walk. It's like I have to ask for help every single time I go to the toilet. And then I'm like, see, these are things that we should be grateful for, that we just take for granted.
Yeah.
Until we get sick or until we don't have them.
Amazing. I love it. I think even as adults, right, it's a good practice for us as well. Because I used to diary, but after a while I forgot about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it has to be a constant reminder for me to be mindful and to be grateful every morning. And last time I used to do meditation in the morning as well.
Yes.
Right? Just so I can, be mindful, be present. But I find it really hard for myself. Right? So I think those are really good tips to have. Let's talk about some more serious problems, right, that we see kids these days, because I own a youth community in the teenager years, right? So I do realize that especially when they are entering secondary school or so, right, this topic of depression comes out quite a bit. And I believe it is so that kids nowadays are getting more and more depressed at the earlier stages.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I think maybe it's not that they are more depressed or what, because last time we don't usually talk about mental wellness.
Yeah, that's
Right.
true.
But now I think it's a lot more open. People start to talk about it. And we then realize that, oh, actually, somebody can be in the depressive state that we don't even know about. Right. So in this situation, like, how do we deal with this? How do we deal with this topic for kids and children?
Yeah. I'm not an expert on depression, but yes, it's very good that there's awareness around it.
Yeah.
And what I've been reading about is that mindfulness actually helps us solve depression. So mindfulness is usually tied to meditation.
Yeah.
As you said, because meditation is a mindfulness practice that really just helps us to be present and to clear our minds. So that's actually something I teach my kids as well.
You teach your kids to meditate.
Yes.
Can they do it?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so I think
interesting.
Yeah, because I think I meditate. So they see it. In fact, sometimes I tell them, okay, I'm gonna go meditate so nobody will enter the room. And then actually Basti, he loves again, him being the introvert, right? Between the two of them and him being an introvert like me.
Yeah.
So sometimes he would join me. He's like, oh, I want to go.
Are they fooling around or are they really meditating?
So they're not doing, my position, but they're sitting there, but the room is dark, usually like it's really lights off for me. And then I play a guided meditation. It's all available, like it's all over.
Yeah.
So either on YouTube or Spotify. And then he would just sit there with me. I don't know what's running in his mind, but I'm hoping he's listening to the guided meditation.
Yeah.
And it can be as quick as, I usually do a 10-minute meditation.
Yeah.
And if you're a beginner, they say, just start small, just do a 1-minute guided meditation. And then for Alessi, we do it during bedtime. So bedtime, again, teachable moment, right? Like you don't have to, in the middle of their day, like the sun is out, they're playing, and then you're like, we're doing meditation. Yeah. So again, it's not like that, right? Like, so 9 p.m. is their bedtime. Okay, 9 p.m. it's lights off at home, it's downtime. Okay. So I just say downtime. And again, it's an anchor for them. They know what to do. So downtime is, they start their bedtime routine, they go brush their teeth, and then they put on their night lamp, they turn off the lights. Anyway, so again, that's a teachable moment. And then I just play guided meditation for kids.
Does guided meditation sound like for kids?
So it's amazing because there's, again, a lot of content available you just search guided meditation for kids. And it's funny because sometimes, I even relate it to what we did for the day. So sometimes we had donuts for dessert. And then I'd actually look for guided meditation for kids. And then I'll just type donuts.
Donuts.
And you'll
so
be
meditate
surprised.
on donuts.
Yes.
When they get hungry.
And you'll be surprised. You actually have one. And it's talking about, going to like Donut Island, wherein your floaters are donuts. And then the different flavors of donuts. And it's amazing, it's there. So I just use that. And honestly, most of the time they'll just fall asleep. But I'm hoping that, the 1 minute to 5 minutes before they actually just snooze, they're able to follow.
Yeah.
And again, just clear their minds and follow that meditation.
And what kind of benefits have you seen that for Alessi or Basti?
Again, I don't know. There's no scientific explanation for me to say that practice is what leads them to, let's say, better mood, and also better sleep.
I see.
Yeah, so my kids sleep for 9 to 10 hours a day.
Wow.
Yes. So they sleep at
uninterrupted.
Yes.
Perfect.
yes. Usually they would, there were nights when they would wake up, but then rarely. Usually they'd sleep through.
Oh, interesting.
So I feel like that's a very good benefit. For kids, again, there are just too many activities for them. So we're prioritizing rest, sleep, mindfulness for them.
Let's talk about your next book on vision setting.
Yes.
Vision goals, vision board. I'm very interested in this book because I personally do vision board myself.
Me too.
It's actually on the screenshot of my phone,
Oh.
right? And I practice that every single year diligently and religiously. So far, I have done it for 2 cycles. That's 2 years. And my first vision board, I hit about 60%. Yeah, so I am a huge believer of vision board. Tell me, what is it like to do that with your kids?
Yes. So I do vision boards as well. Okay, so this is Matina Dreams Big. And this is the book that teaches the value of dreaming big and believing in oneself. So we really want to teach our kids, again, a big word, right? Like goal setting. But like, how do you teach a 5-year-old what's goal setting? It's too big.
Yeah.
So here, again, you use the books as a tool. So here we teach them how to come up with a vision board. Okay, so here we teach them how to come up with a vision board. So again, these are Matina's dreams, and then she was sharing it with her siblings, Renee and Rafael. So those are Monique's kids. And then we also taught them how to write down their goals. So it's really, it doesn't have to be very big goals for kids because, they don't know what they're going to do 20 years from now,
Yeah.
right? Even adults, sometimes we don't know. We don't know what our goals are. But then again, it's really, okay, just asking them, just giving them prompts like, okay, what do you want to do this weekend? Or what do you want to do for Christmas or on your birthday? And then you list them down. And again, we just teach them how to go from where they are now to reaching their dreams. So here is, again, this is a full spread. Wherein, again, it's really just about dreaming wild. So we want to encourage them to dream big and then believe in themselves and then to make a plan. So actually, again, making plan, we start with their birthday parties, which are usually very simple. We just have it at home. They invite their classmates.
Yeah.
We have a swimming party and a barbecue party.
Yeah.
But then we're like, okay, let's make a plan. So again, it's a very simple exercise. You don't have to teach them like full goal setting, like, how to become a doctor. Not like that.
There's a life plan that a lot of Asian parents will want.
Yeah, so nothing like that yet for that age. It's really just simple plans that we can, again, turn, let's say, a discussion over dinner. And then again,
that's so nice.
So many nice gems in this book, So this one, what is your biggest, wildest, out of this world dream? So we just keep encouraging our kids also to be in touch with what they truly want. Because again, when they grow up as adults, again, we get caught up with the daily grind.
Yeah.
And then sometimes we forget, what are you actually working towards? Like, why are you saving money? Like, because money is just a tool.
Yeah.
To reach something or to do something. So
what are you doing for?
Yes.
We're just having a conversation outside about Robert Kiyosaki, right? How a lot of Singaporeans have actually read that book. Personally, I read it myself as well. But after a while, when I read it, I was like, okay, that's very interesting. There's this thing going on where, I can have an alternative source of income. It feels plausible. But after a while, you kind of like forget about it because there's no plan to get there. Right? There's no way that we can apply the US property principles in Singapore, right? Or there's no way, or it's too far. It feels very far. So I love it how you have that vision setting and goal setting with your kids when they're very young, right? So that they can dare to dream big. And I think it's the case for a lot of parents as well, a lot of adults as well, right? Sometimes we are so caught up in the daily grind that we just forget about our dreams, right? Forget what we are doing this for, right? And we end up being in the hamster wheel, or we end up just going with the flow.
Yes.
Yeah. I love that. So let's talk about that, right? So I'm very curious. Do you have aspirations for your child? Do you have a certain, when they grow up, they have to follow this particular route, or something like that?
Actually, no. I think because my parents also, they actually let us do what we wanted. They supported our individual paths. I think for them, it's really, I want them to be in touch with that dream. I want them to one day find their ikigai, but I think it's really, again, just guiding them.
Yeah.
So for now, they do have their goals, which are to buy their toys. So we actually practice vision boarding at home with just a very simple, okay, mom, I want this toy. So my son, again, Basti, they went to Universal Studios and then he saw this Transformers, robot.
Yeah, it can be quite expensive, huh?
It
Those
is
ones.
expensive,
Yeah.
yes. And he's like, oh, mommy, can I buy this? And then it's actually my mom who was with them in Universal Studios. So I was at work and then my mom was here. She was visiting. And then obviously, I know my mom.
We'll buy it.
Yes. So, but it's also good for mindful grandparenting because, we align them on our parenting ways. So therefore my mom is very aligned as well. And anyway, she raised us, right? Like I learned all of these things from her and my dad. But anyway, so she was asking me permission and I said, okay, tell Basti that, we will work for it. So I'm also very conscious that I don't say no to my kids.
Yeah.
So when we're in the toy store, it's like, Mommy, I want this, I want that. And you're like, no, let's go home. We need to go. So actually, again, teachable moment, and we keep going back to that, we process it with them like, okay, how much is it? I think that's my first thing that I ask them now because they now know their math from school. How much is it? Okay, it's, $100. Okay, so maybe let's work towards having $100. Or maybe on your birthday, maybe for Christmas, because, obviously we also give them gifts for Christmas
Yeah.
and birthday, but you make them wait. So not instantly. And then, so he said that he wanted that Transformers robot.
Yeah.
So when we checked it at home on Amazon, it was actually $10 cheaper.
Okay.
So I said,
So you
it's
learn how to be resourceful as well, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was like, $109 in Universal Studios. And then in Amazon, it was just $99.
Yeah.
And then I told him, see, you've already saved $10. So, and then what we did was we printed that, a screenshot of it, literally. And then again, we put them on his
Vision
room.
board.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
okay.
on his room wherein the door is the vision board. So everything they want are on their doors. And then we also made a plan for it. Okay, so school is gonna start in August. We will give you your allowance, which is $250 a week. So it's 50 cents a day.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you actually save your money from August till December, you'll have this much. Okay, like around 32. Okay, that's not yet enough for you to buy your Transformers. So you have to do chores at home. Remember our list of extra chores that you have to do? Okay, and then we broke it down weekly. Okay, so from August to December, how many weeks are there? And again, the mindful activity there is I brought out their school calendar and, he just started, okay, count how many weeks. So it's a simple exercise for him, right? But he's mindful, oh, there's actually like 20 more weeks until December when I want to have it for Christmas.
Yeah.
And then it becomes a family activity because I'm like, okay, he still needs like $80. We have, let's say, 16 weeks. And then my daughter, who now knows multiplication and division, would come and like, okay, why don't you help Basti? And then she would explain it to him. Okay, there's like, 16, I don't know, like, okay, you need to earn $5 every week for you to reach it.
So that's where the money magician comes in.
Yes, that's why. And then now they have their vision board. And then they also have the goal setting.
The plan.
The plan. So again, without saying the word goal setting to them, they learn it. Yeah.
Amazing. Let's take a break here. And the next episode, our next part of it, we will talk about lying and cheating. Very tricky topic. Okay, so stay tuned. Okay, let's take a break for a while.